Welcome to our very first episode to Bio Bootcamp. Now, this is our third season of Bio Bootcamp. We've been doing a lot of different things. We've done some stuff on stage, we've done some stuff virtually, but this season of Omega Chronicles is going to be different than anything that you've ever seen. We literally are talking about how omega 3s and omega 6s function in your body and how impactful it is to your overall health. The person that I'm going to be talking to all week this week is Stuart Tomc. I'm going to introduce him in a minute, but I want you guys to get pen and paper and take notes. And if anybody has any questions, you can definitely email us, but start following us at Bio Bootcamp Live everywhere at Bio Bootcamp Live. And we're going to start the show as soon as I come back. And we're back. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Now, Stuart Tomc is one of the guys that's known as the Omega Man for the last 20 years. He's all about omega 3s and the functionality of omega 3s in every body function, even on a cellular level. So we're going to go ahead and bring in Stuart Tomc. Stuart, how are you, sir?
Nolen, I've never had a bad day in my life. I'm so excited to be part of Bio Bootcamp.
Hey, you know what? I'm letting people know right now. This is your first time. This is the energy that you're going to get each and every time Stuart comes on. And this is why he and I became friends. It's the second I met Stuart, is the vibrations that he gives out and the vibe, the aura, and he's like this all the time. But before we really get started on some brotherly information, educating the people, tell people a little bit about yourself because you got an extensive background.
Well, Nolen, it's such an honor to be your friend and to get to be your co-host on this incredible project. I come from Chicago. I was born and raised in Chicago. We have that in common. I used to run a health food store over on Diversey. If you remember on the north side, Diversey and Clark, it was called Sherwin's Health Food Store. It was so cool, Nolen. It was way before Whole Foods, GNC, and Vitamin Shop. And we had all of these clinicians working there, naturopathic doctors, muscle testing experts, people that were into, pendulums and remote viewing. I mean, it was a crazy place. I ran the juice bar there, and they had walls and walls of dietary supplements, like nothing you had seen. I have never even seen a health food store quite like that. So I was very lucky to start early. That was in the 1980s. And then after that, there was a local company that was up in the Waukegan area that was called North American Herb and Spice. Have you ever seen that product, Nolen? It's a little bottle of oil of oregano.
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a natural disinfectant, like a natural germ killer. So I worked for them, for Dr. Ingram, for many years. I helped to build that company. It was a great experience. And then I was recruited from there to become the spokesperson for Nordic Naturals. So on Bio Bootcamp, we're going to be doing like the deepest but fun dive into lipids ever on the internet. And I have to give all of the credit first to God, second to my parents, and next to all of my professors and teachers at Nordic Naturals that helped to make me Omega Man. We're going to talk about what that means and how everyone's an Omega Man or an Omega Woman. And then after that, Nolen, I had such a great experience with CV Sciences. That's the maker of Plus CBD. We were one of the first big publicly traded cannabinoid companies. So I rode that entire wave. Do you remember that? 10 years ago when CBD was like all the rage.
Yes.
So it was so much fun to watch that. And I learned so much about, big global business from being involved in a big publicly traded company like that. And then went back to Nordic Naturals, which is the biggest omega-3 company in the world, to build a television studio to broadcast like you do. And then now I'm working with a Scandinavian, life science company. I've teamed up with you and doctors and scientists all over the world. And that's just a little, brief bio on how I got here with you, Noah.
Now, we have a lot of articles that we can find that's about you. You've done 6,000 interviews. So is this like 6,001 or what? Like, tell me a little bit about that journey.
Well, I was the professional spokesperson for these different dietary supplement companies that I worked for. I was the face of the company. And so I was blessed to get involved in radio before the internet really exploded with all of the influencers. So I was really trained in radio, in media. I've done television appearances, but all in the field of health and nutrition. So 6,000 interviews. At one point, Nolen, I was doing 70 to 80 interviews a month for Nordic Naturals for like 7 years, all on the same subject. And that's one of the reasons why I was given the nickname Omega Man, because I fell in love with lipids. You are too. I already see it happening in you and your audience. And we're going to help people understand this, and we're going to make it fun and exciting at the same time.
You know what would really make it fun? If you showed up on the next episode with like tights and Omega Man across your chest. We'd get you like a little cape, get you some little mini fans blowing in the wind type of thing.
Well, I'm starting to work out again because of you, Nolen. You're the one that said to me, you told your friend William, your brother William, did I remember the story right? Just jump out of bed and start doing the push-ups immediately to start creating the discipline. And ever since you mentioned that to me days ago, I'm doing more push-ups than I have in years.
Yep.
Thank you. So once I do more push-ups, then I can put the tights on.
Well, back to the tights. I like the way you stay focused on that whole situation. But you know what? It's really all about Bio Bootcamp. It's really all about peak performance, health, fitness. How do you get to that next level? And so when I really understood what we had as far as with omega-3s and how impactful it is to all aspects of your body and how you can literally reach the next level for a lot of different things, just having that be a balanced situation in your body. That's when I came up with the Omega Chronicles, right? And that's when I asked you to co-host, and we got doctors that's coming on. We got Olympians that's coming on. We have you're going to be in store of a lot of different information depending on what it is. I don't care if it's your hormones. I don't care if it's, chronic liver disease. I don't care if it's brain function. We're going to show you how important omega-3s are. And I'm going to get it back over to you while you get your slide deck together, because I know we're going to be doing some presentations and really just trying to hone in on some of the pain points that people have and say that this could be something that could help you. Because when you learn it from just the basics, if you just understand the basics, you'll understand why it's needed in your body.
That's so true. I mean, all we have to do is understand what these fats do in every cell of our body. And we're going to break it down. What is an omega-3? What is an omega-6? Why does it matter to you? And why is this ratio the most modifiable risk factor after quitting smoking? The most modifiable risk factor after quitting smoking. And you're going to learn also on Bio Bootcamp where determining your individual biomarkers, that is the future of nutrition. This is the end of celebrity influence. This is the end of guest-based nutrition. This is the beginning of test-based nutrition. So after 20 years of working in the omega-3 space, we can finally inform people, educate people, and inspire people to reach the appropriate levels in their own blood instead of guessing and thinking that omega-3 is going to give them protection. We're going to show them how to ensure that it's working.
Well, let's go ahead and get started.
Okay. So if I could pull up my slides here. So I just want everybody to understand where this term came from and what it means to you. Omega Man. It comes from the Alpha and the Omega from Scripture, from the beginning to the end. The Alpha, the beginning, the Omega, the end. And the scientist that coined the term omega-3 and omega-6, he took it directly from Scripture, the beginning and the end. And so that has significant relevance on this show, the beginning and the end, and also to remain teachable and humble, that we just don't know everything. And that's one thing we promise you on Bio Bootcamp, right, Nolen?
Yes.
We don't know everything, and we're never going to act like we do. So if you're an Omega man or an Omega woman, there's a profound sense of humility because we're getting new information all the time. Right, Nolen?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I want people to understand where it came from. It was a nickname that my scientist friends gave me at a conference because I read these papers from sun up until sundown. And one of them said, "You're the Omega man. I have to do this for a living. I'm a doctor. I'm seeing patients. You just love this stuff so much, Stuart." And the reason that I do is it's the most modifiable thing that you can do for your health after quitting smoking. So when we look at the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, I think we just need a little tiny bit of chemistry. And I promise we're going to keep this show fun. We're never going to go into some dark teacher kind of tunnel here at all. But when I say to people that the fatty acids, the omega-6 and omega-3, these are essential, your body doesn't make them. We have to get them through our diet. And they are involved with the beginning and the end of inflammation. But where does the term come from? I just want you to look right here at this chemical structure. At the top of the slide is an omega-6.
Right.
On the left-hand side is called the methyl or the omega end. I promise, just a tiny bit of chemistry. So if you follow my cursor, Nolen, do you see where the first double bond is? The first circle, I'm circling this with my cursor, the first carbon to carbon double bond. If you count it, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Right.
The first double bond is 6 from the omega end of the fatty acid. That makes it an omega-6.
Right.
If you look at the molecule below, omega-3, 1, 2, 3. The first double bond is 3 from the omega end. Why is this important? Structure determines function. Different structure, different function. Omega-6s, and you're going to learn this, they make the largely pro-inflammatory signals, and omega-3s make the largely anti-inflammatory signals. Nolen, we need both for a healthy inflammatory response. We need both for a healthy immune system. We need both for a healthy brain and healthy organs and healthy cells. And the problem is people have demonized these. And they've said omega-6 is bad because it's pro-inflammatory. And omega-3 is good because it's anti-inflammatory. And that ends up being absolutely oversimplified. So before we move on, Nolen, does this make sense why they called it omega-6 and omega-3? Because of where's a double?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you get the analogy of the keys. A different key opens a different lock.
Absolutely.
So when people are saying to me, it's all the same. They're all polyunsaturated fatty acids. I'm like, no, totally different structure, completely different function. So this is how we explain this to people. We call it the hidden health crisis. And this next section is called the Omega hands. Now, I learned this, Nolen, from one of the greatest communicators of all time. I'm a subject matter expert. I was paid to teach this all over the world. But this person actually, they're very much like you, the way that you have this very keen and unique ability to essentialize messages and to cut right through it, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to team up with you so much. Because, we've got to get this message out to the world now. We got to take it down from the ivory tower. Right. We've got to make this a public health policy. And you're the one that helped teach me that if we don't make it relatable and human and fun, that no one's going to take this seriously. So I want you to hear the story. The guy, he's got these long fingers and he's up on stage and he's from Athens. So I was watching this guy, Nolen. I'm like, man, it's like listening to St. Paul, or you know what I'm saying? Like he was like this great orator. And he said, here's how you explain this. You say, this is what I've learned. And this is what I've learned. And now Nolen's learned this too. Imagine my left fist is omega-6. It's essential. Now that means your body doesn't make it. You have to get it from your diet. If you don't have it, you die. Right. Your body doesn't produce it. But it produces the inflammatory signals. Imagine my right fist is omega-3. Now it's also essential. Our bodies don't produce it, and it makes the anti-inflammatory signals. They need to be in balance. Right. Maybe 3 parts omega-6 maximum. 2 to 1 would be better. 1 to 1 is perfect. That area right here, that's the safe zone. You're going to learn on this show that most people are like this.
25 to 1.
Staying alive, staying alive, staying alive. Danger zone, danger zone. Right. Why? Because if you think of where omega-6s come from, they come from seeds, seed oils, nuts, animal products that eat grains and seeds. If you were to look at a shopping cart right now, Nolen, and the average human being in America, I don't care how educated they are, if you do the math and add up, if $100 are in the shopping cart, $99 are spent on omega-6s. Only $1 is spent on omega-3s. Where do the omega-3s come from? Green leafy vegetables. You know we don't eat enough of them. Flax meal. Who eats that anymore? Cold water oily fish, sardines, anchovies, mackerel, algae supplements that also contain omega-3 in them. So do you see why we call this the hidden health crisis? If you're not in balance, can you see what's already happening to your system, Nolen?
Absolutely. And we live in a society to where even when you get the green leafy grains or the organics, or it's still not nutrient dense enough to where we're getting what we used to get 50 years ago out of the soil that's there. So we have to supplement. But the thing that was very interesting to me is that the supplementation that people are taking is not even absorbing in our bodies because of this imbalance. And that's the thing that I don't think a lot of people.
No, I remember when we first talked about that, how that blew your mind.
Right.
And that was one of that. And we're going to get to that. We're going to show you in detail. So you got to hang in the show. You're going to keep getting better. We're going to show you what the cellular structure looks like. The membrane is the brain of the cell. And when you don't have enough omega-3s, nutrients can't get in the same way. Waste products can't get out. You get cellular constipation, and it negatively impacts your entire body. So we need to help educate people to move from hope to belief to knowing. And that's why with Bio Bootcamp, it's all about the biomarkers. That's going to be our tagline. Now, National Geographic just published Anti-Inflammation, the Science of Inflammation. Well, 20 years before, Time magazine showed the secret killer, inflammation. No, when I showed that Time magazine cover all over the world. All over the world. And I helped to introduce testing of omega-3s back 20 years ago when they were brand new, these tests. Now it's finally reached a fever pitch where now we need to do something about it.
And I just want people to understand that what we have as we talk about this imbalance, that imbalance creates inflammation on the cellular level. So that's why Whereas we talk about inflammation here being the silent killer, as we talk about inflammation literally hindering us from living our best lives, this balance gets us to remove the inflammation on a cellular level. So I just want to make people understand, why are we jumping from this to that? Because that's why it's all linked. And that inflammation is literally linked to so many pain points that people are dealing with. So that's
No, Nolen, thank you so much, because it's good that let's just remember omega-6 pro-inflammatory, omega-3 anti-inflammatory. On a cellular level, we're going so far upstream. So let's review. Omega-6 is essential. The body doesn't make it. Omega-6 is essential. The body doesn't make it. It's inflammatory. Omega-3 is essential. The body doesn't make it. And it's anti-inflammatory. So we now know there's a critical ratio. 100%. There's a biomarker that is the most important number for health and longevity that you don't know, that will predict your future, that you should know. Anything above 3-to-1 is the danger zone. Now, I took the test and I failed it miserably, and I'm nicknamed the Omega Man.
Right.
Because I wasn't getting the right stuff, and I wasn't taking it at the right dosage, and I wasn't testing, I was guessing. So do you want to know if you're in the safe zone, or are you in the danger zone? So this is the most important number for health and longevity, and it would be insane 10 years from now not to test first before taking a dietary supplement regime. Insane. And that's going to be the focus of Bio Bootcamp. It's all about the biomarkers. It's all about remaining humble and not knowing, and being an Omega man or an Omega woman yourself.
And as we talk about tests, we're going to take a break really fast, because we have a video talking about the test and how to do it. After that, we'll be right back. And we're back. So when we look at taking a test, testing instead of guessing, knowing what that number is for you, and literally having the knowledge to tweak. So many times we're taking supplements and we don't even know that if it works or not. And to literally be able to know where you are, to figure out what's needed to get you to a successful balance of 3 to 1 is very, very, very important. So I love what we're doing here with the Omega Chronicles. I love the fact that we get to have you on as many times, and some of the people that you're going to put on the show to educate in every aspect of the body functions is phenomenal. So I definitely want to thank you for that, Stuart. I know we're wrapping up right now, but anything you want to say before we go?
I'm just so excited that we've got this platform now, Nolen, with you to help share this information in a fun, accessible, and engaging way. Let's face it, we're spending so much money taking care of ourselves. Billions of dollars.
Absolutely.
And if the nutrients cannot get into the cells as effectively, and as a result, waste products build up and you get cellular constipation, if you can manipulate the ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 to ensure you have optimal cellular function and a healthy inflammatory response, we're going to beat this drum over and over and over. We want to know your number, not your phone number. We want to know your biomarker on Bio Bootcamp. We want to know what your number is. We know ours. Do you know yours?
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So for those that are watching right now, I want you guys to get on social media, everywhere on social media, go to Bio Bootcamp Live, or you can go to our website, biobootcamplive.com. You can see how to take the test. And if you are in health, wellness, fitness, if you have a spa and you want to be featured on Bio Bootcamp, there's going to be a form there as well. If we're looking for everything from yoga to trainers to mental health professionals, well, this is a platform to spotlight all of those people in our community. But the Omega Chronicles is something very special. The Omega Chronicles literally impacts your health and your wellness on a whole nother level, from brain function. And that's one of the things that we're going to be talking about this week is brain function, everything from your mood to how your brain functions better with having the right supplements. So, Stuart, I want to thank you once again. For you guys that are watching, tune in tomorrow, Monday through Friday. We're right here at Bio Bootcamp Live. Until next time, love to live to love, and be well.